Listen up, it's the Topaz in the chat. We got the vibe burning up just like that. Come on, Machinko's place where the party goes wild. Feel the groove with the rhythm run wild. Topaz in the chat, make it swing. Join the crew, let your spirit sing. Feel the night, let the good times roll. Topaz in the zone, taking control.
Who's nicked me fucking batteries?
Welcome, Swarm, to the stream where pixels flicker and the chattel beat. Though you fluttered off, your presence remains. In whispers of wings and echoes of game. Here in Majenko's space we unite, to laugh and cheer through daylight. So the buzz, if you will, is this little band here at the family. That's the jam.
Today, welcome to the show. Crack up a tin and let the banner flow. For thinking fun with the Twitchy crew. MJ's in the house and it's all for you.
Wallace Conga's a cheeky room who sits stage spot on the stream for you. No need for thongs or cockhat flair. Strap your tin tans and pull up a chair.
Good day, welcome to the show. Crack up a tin and let the banner flow.
Raise your glass and shout to right.
Jay's in the chat, wanna rip the night.
Chloe Raccoon, she's in the zone, tapping away. She's got her own throne, buzzing keyboards. Wires go. Welcome to Majenko's. Let's start the show. Click, click, click. She's ready to strike. Dancing on streams. Beauty like raccoon power, shining bright. Second tunes.
Could have been worse. Be glad it was just water. At least water is easy to clean up. Could have been lager. You are in Australia after all. Hello, how are you all doing? Hello Swarm, I'll quickly say hello before you disappear off on your nightly walkies. Who else have we got? Dopaz, thank you for the 30 bits. Hello MJ, hello Chloe, Cobb, G-Pin. SVK lurking now as well, hello. I would not have been jerking him awake. Carrot House might. Anyway, enough of that. We're back on Zoe. I've got some 7.4 LS240s. They have arrived. Or I hope they have. I haven't opened them yet to make sure they are what they say they are. So that is our first job today, is to... Come on, got the right button. is to replace that chip there that we ripped out from Zoe. That's our first job today. I'm going to finish Zoe off once and for all, yes. So hopefully these are the correct chips, if I can focus. 74 LS240, yep. Perfect. As they all fall out all over the desk. Come on, focus. Thank you. But first I want to put a socket in to put the chip into. I never put chips direct into boards if I can help it, because they're a pain to then remove when I inevitably break them again. Can you put your clothes on now? It's cold in here. No, not until you get to your 100 stream streak. 85 is just not good enough. 85 stream streak. That's dedication for you. If you can focus, like any of us around here are good at focusing, yeah. Mitsubishi Parts looks like it. Much of a slave driver as Cobb. What can I say? Right. Let's have a rejig of my camera. And we'll get my soldering iron warmed up. You pulled the USB reader out of the Q30, added more music. One might be a mistake for driving to. And what would that be? On days like these, oh right. Okay, I have tweezers, I have flux, I can remove the pins, and then we can look at emptying the holes with some wick. Spiked paddles. Ugh. You're evil. Okay, almost warmed up. Let's get some flux on here ready. Plenty of flux. Flux it up completely. Okay. One pin out. 2 pin out. Come on, 3 pin. Three pin out. Four pin out. 5. 6. 7. 7, slightly bent. 8, 9, and 10. Every time Shelby says GPIB, you hear G-pin, yeah. Desoldering braid tutorial time. There's nothing really to teach, but yeah, I shall take you through my method. Right, I want to turn this around now. Work from the other end. One, 2, 3, 4, 'Come on, out you come. Thank you. 5, 6, 'These little stumpy ones now. Can't get them out. 7. Get off. 'Nearly had that one. 8. 2 more. 9, and finally 10. Okay, all pins removed. Right, where is it? It's up here somewhere, isn't it? There it is. Okay, more flux. We have no idea what is up with her at the moment, but I am replacing a chip which we found to be suspect. Lots of good, decent quality flux. Maybe she will. Then it's wick across the hole, flat side of the soldering iron on, and pull it off. Plenty of heat. I'm running this at 400 degrees. It's not wanting to wick that much actually. These holes are quite obstinate. Wanting to clear out very well at the moment. I might be wanting to add some more solder to it actually, because I don't think there's enough solder to wick. Yeah, it's not really going very well there. So I'm going to add some low temperature paste to all the pads. Just to make it flow a bit better. If there's not enough solder there in the first place, then it doesn't wick up to the braid properly. And adding low temperature makes it flow even better. Right, let's try again. A maze of twisty soldering joints, all alike. It's dark. You're likely to be eaten by a grue, yes. No pine sol? I do have a pine sol, yes. But the pine sol has the wrong tip on for this. I have a round tip on the pine sol. I need to get some more tips for that, actually. Whereas this has a, let's get it into view, a sort of chisel-shaped one, which is better for this because you've got a good flat face for heating the wick. They're starting to clear now, apart from the ground pin at the top there. Tip for the pine sol, don't hold the metal end, yes. Okay, all bar one on that side done. I think all done on that side. Oh, that one missed. It's just this ground one here that I haven't managed to do. There we go. And clean up all the burnt flux now. It's an annoying kind of circuit board, this one, as Ben knows all too well. It's like got a layer of epoxy over it with wires in it. and that epoxy does like to melt, which is why I'm not using the moo machine, because that would be too destructive for this kind of board, I think. It's on stoke.chat or whatever it is. It's all on my link tree. It's all on there, the Stoked. I'm not setting up my own. I'm just running it on stoke.chat. There's only me on there, I think, at the moment. Or maybe Ben. Let's just check that is. Actually, I'm not sure they are properly clear, some of those. I might want to go through from this side as well. It's hard to tell. Very hard to tell. Let's clean this side up. Let's focus. You're a fan of my OnlyFans, yes. There is definitely one still plugged up there. At least one. Yeah, there's a couple not properly cleared out. I think I'm going to go from this side. So I'm going to put a bit more paste on the ones that haven't fully cleared and redo them. It's that one and that one, but they're still wet from the alcohol scrubbing, so the paste doesn't want to stick. There, in fact, all of that bit there. So I'll go from the top this time on that one, which I think might just have cleared itself out. Yeah, just the wicking of the soldering iron itself cleared that one out. Fresh bit of wick. Why are you not wanting to clear? Thank you. There we go, that's looking good from that side now. Let's lift it up and have a look. Ooh, that that one there is not quite clear. That one's not clear, and down there aren't quite clear. Let's go back to this side. There's that one, that one, that one, that one. We're nearly there, only a couple left to clear out. So dry soldering iron, just the soldering iron and this solder, and we get it to clear. Yep. That's the ground one there, isn't it? It's always going to be pesky. Perfect apart from the ground one. The ground one is always a problem. There we go. Dry soldering iron did the job for that one. All clear. You still object to the idea you fight fair. Well, you're as fair as the bot is. There we go. Nice clean footprint there. A bit more on the other side. There we go, that's gone. Looking good. All holes clear. Right, we're ready for a socket now. You don't fight fair, you fight to win. Absolutely. Okay, I need a 20-pin socket. Are these 20-pin? Or are these 28? These are going to be 20, or are they 18s? These are 20. Okay, soldering the socket back in. Get on, stand up. Thank you. Okay, socket is in. one side in and push it and hook the other side in and in. Chip done. Right. We have done one chip. It's not going to make any difference to the functionality, of course, because the system is just basically buggered, and I do not know why. Other power supply I want. That one. And I want to remove the screws from the side of it here. To release the cable. That's better. Right. Power to the power supply. Oh, this is all backwards, isn't it? It's a Hot Rocks.
A group of Mexican yaks and their cantina goats are working at a row of charcoal grills, on top of which is an array of 4-foot diameter paella pans. The contents, dark and bubbling, seems to be made up of finely chopped beef, wild rice and red kidney beans. The nose-hair curling aroma tells you that this is a thermonuclear chili con carne, and that eating it will be an adventure. A bell pepper is dropped into one of the pans, where it promptly dissolves. The Pentagon goes to DEFCON 2.
How are you doing, Hot Rocks? Cats are stronger than no, cats have sharper claws than raccoons. Raccoons have sharper brains than cats. Okay, we are ready to see if we get anything out of this today. So we want to go to here. Unadventurous pizza. Oh, boring. Let us switch on power and see if we get anything, or if it just all explodes. No smoke. That's a good sign. Do we see anything though? Probably not, because we haven't been seeing anything at all recently. Yeah, things are not happy on here at all at the moment. They're very not happy. We get nothing. Okay, so what do we want to look at now then? Where's that cable gone? I've got a cable here somewhere. Don't know where it is. Ah, there it is. But it is wired wrong for what I want. I think, or is it? Yes, this is wired wrong at the moment for what I want. I need to rebuild this cable. This is wired up for colour video output, but we have no colour video output. I need to retune this for monochrome. I also want to just quickly check if there's any serial coming out on either of these two channels here. There shouldn't be, but there might be. That's an easy thing to check. We'll check that one first. Nope. Change its personality and see if we get anything. Because one of these two is the default console when in VAX server mode when you're not using the debug port. And I can't remember which way that jumper is for VAX server mode. So if we have a problem with the UART that we were looking at, then this might give us something out if the system is running. I'm not getting anything on this one. Change the personality and run it again. No, I'm not seeing anything coming out on either of those serial ports at all, which I would expect to see if it were actually operating. So that's a bad sign. But I want to see if we get video out. If there's anything on the video, which means a change to this cable. Time for some reggae. Good idea. It's a little too spacey, yeah. Right.
Dope as Rasta music. Not bad, mon. A little too lively for a humble wumble, but I appreciate the change.
Now I need the pinout for this. Documents, hardware, computers, VAXstation 2000. K410 field maintenance printer set. Chumbawamba. I like a bit of Chumbawamba.
MJ might not speak it proper, mon, but might pick up a little bit. Things nice and eerie, you know. Just enjoying the vibes and collecting lost treasures.
Okay, 2 is mono return. Looks like that one there. Pin 9 is going to be mono. Vid red, vid green, vid blue. Mono is not labelled, and I think that's the signal coming in for mono. You've got dots, horizontal sync, vertical sync, all going through into one, with whatever all this lot is going with it as well. Into here. So pin 9 is our video signal. Mono return is pin 3. So we want to take the green one, move it to pin 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, just move it down one. Yeah. Move the green one down one. And it's just fallen off. It's not really designed for soldering, this wire. Colour ones we don't require now. This needs to go to pin 3 instead of 2, although it shouldn't make the slightest bit of difference. Come on, melt will you? Thank you. Right, so that should be video out now. What do I have for video out? I think that one might be video out that I want. I'm going to want the Extron turned on, aren't I? And I'm going to want a VGA cable. One moment. one VGA cable. I don't know if this is going to, the actual video input is going to work. So I don't know if this is even going to be a valid test. But I shall try powering up and see what we get, if anything. I'm not getting a signal on either of my VGA inputs. Nothing coming through at all. We're not even getting a sync signal by the looks of things. Right. Let's turn on the oscilloscope. And I'm going to probe the video signal, see what there is. Absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Okay, is this the right channel? Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely getting things. Nothing at all on the video output, which means it's not initializing the video circuitry at all. And I think I just shorted out the power supply with my ground lead. Open up again, it's a Balgemet. Now this is dancing close, hearts are intertwined. This is worrying. Keep it tight. Feel the synth pop, everything's so bright. Oh, Janet's in the house. I love
Tossed together through the stainless.
This is worrying. I'm not getting anything happening. No activity at all at the moment. Zero activity. You approve of the new quarter face cam, do you? So I'm leaning over, looking at the board, close to. This is going from bad to worse, this thing. I don't want to be you, thanks, Ben. Uh-oh, indeed. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here at the moment. I'm getting no activity. I've replaced the chip with a socketed one, and nothing is happening anywhere, from what I can see. Let me just check my voltages. That's 5 volts on the chip we've just replaced, so that's okay. That's the minus 12 volts, plus 12 volts. Oh, hello. I know what the problem might be. I haven't got this connected, have I? So it's not able to regulate properly. That'll be why. Right. Okay, let's start the stream again. Hello, good evening, how are you all? That's better, we've got 5 volts now, not 4.5 volts. Right. So let's start all our tests again from scratch, shall we? We'll start off with serial on there. Just in time for the start of the stream, well done. Right, we're seeing things occurring now, not the correct things, but things. Taping back. Okay, so we have activity. So now I'm going to do the second thing we tried. I need to add a toggle to turn the overlay for the scope on and off, really, don't I? So now I'm going to take the cable I was just working on, which has vanished. There it is. This plugs into here. And one of these might give us serial if this jumper is in the right position. And I don't know what position that needs to be in offhand. Aha! We definitely have a serial problem. There's definitely something up with that serial port. Because running on the console port, not the debug port, we get things. Interesting. That is encouraging. That is mightily encouraging. Out of milk error. Right, we definitely have a problem with the debug port. That's good, in a way. Back to ambient again. You're going to be fighting over the musical genre today, are you? Just remember, I have the master switch. You certainly can, Ben, and that is the first thing we will be looking at, is probing that. However, I'm not so sure, because it's switching into that personality.
Good for pondering lost buttons.
Well, it's not really the personality, it's triggering the debug port. Which means that it's working. It appears to either be some data not getting through to where it needs to be, or that data is getting corrupted. Because it's obviously reading the debug jumper because it's going into debug mode. Because without it reading that debug jumper...
It's about a girl who can see the memories of objects. Sounds a bit like my job, really.
The console is this serial port. Connect it to the other one and it gives us... It tries to give us the console, which means it must be going into that mode. But I mean, we'll certainly be looking at it. But there's something up in that corner, which is the corner where all the battery corrosion was. So it's not surprising. But we're doing a system exerciser test now, a customer system exerciser test. Now there's one other thing as well with this serial system, is the fourth serial port stopped working, or I think it stopped working, I'm not sure. We're also supposed to be able to plug a loop back into that port, which I think I have here, and that would put it into field service mode, and it doesn't. So there's definitely something wrong with that corner, something up with that corner. If this is the right loop back to trigger that field service mode, it's not working. But all these ones in this column here are all happy noises. And the one is basically, it's a pass. It's tested them in series, now it's doing all of them together in parallel. Until the slowest one finishes, at which point the whole test finishes. Did I kill Zoe? Tune in next time. But there is definitely something up with Zoe. There has been for some time, in that she reports that she has a problem with her system board. She doesn't tell me what the problem is, just that there is a problem. And she has done for a long time, but it hasn't been a problem, so... Serial killers, yes. So maybe there is something wrong with that corner of the board that is causing that error and the problem with the serial. What it might be is during the boot up, it might be enabling another serial port. At which point something like maybe an interrupt storm starts occurring or something like that, and it just floods the system and it can't cope. I wonder if we can work out when that error started showing up. Well, I don't know whether that error started showing up when I changed the ROMs or not. I mean, I can try changing the ROMs again. But it's this one here. This system error with code 2. And code 2 means something's not working. Code 1 is it's all working. Code 4 is there's a problem with the EEPROM's MAC address ROM. Any other code is replace the system board. Can tell there's a problem, but they never let on as to what the problem is. Yeah, I couldn't go with that, yes. So this is good news, anyway, that we have console on a different serial port. That is good news. The system is functioning, which is better than we had last time. Now I just need to work out why the other serial port's not working and what's going on with the rest of it. So let's turn that off. We'll spin everything around. Actually, out of interest, now that it's functioning, what happens if I look at video? Hang on. One slight problem is this wire has fallen off. Stupid ribbon cable. We've lost our serial connection now. Now, which pin was that on? That would have been on that's 14, which is keyboard RDAT. 15 is keyboard XDAT. I hate soldering ribbon cable. It never lasts. The cable is just too weak. Oh, and the other one's fallen off now as well. Where's my solder gone? There it is. Hey Kai99, we have serial output on the console when not in debug mode, which is a different serial port to the debug serial port. So the system is functioning, but the debug serial port is not. I'm just about to test the video output. I'm not sure if we'll get video output or not, because we're running in VAX server mode, so it may just not do the video at all. Yeah, I'm not seeing video because we're in VAX server mode. Let's turn it off put it back into VAXstation mode and see if video initializes. We won't get serial now. Or we shouldn't get serial. Oh, hello. That's interesting. You might be onto something, Ben. Because in VAXstation mode, where this is not the console anymore, I'm getting crap. Which might be when it's testing the DZ. So it might not be switching into debug mode. We're not getting any video. No video signal. No video signal at all. But it's interesting that we get corruption on the serial port that we're not supposed to be outputting to. Right, anyway. In server mode, we get output on the server's console. Let's spin this lot round so that I can get at this corner. Because there's definitely something up with this corner of it. Now, how are we going to sort this out? This can come over this side. Move this across. Lost. One kitchen, presumed full of stuff, yeah. It's, if you're looking for your kitchen, Ben, it's in the M&S bag. Okay. Let's get the scope going. Right. Yeah, I really need to have a toggle for that, don't I? Because it's annoying. I don't want to be turning the scope on and off all the time. Bear with me a moment. I'm just going to go into overlays, take the oscilloscope, copy, go into desktop. No, I don't really want it on the desktop. Go into desk and no. doing. And go away. Paste reference. Paste reference, and in that one, paste reference. Okay. Then in overlays, turn off that one. There we go. I can turn it on and off now at will. That's much better. And also I don't get it now over here. Although I might add it anyway. And turn it off. Okay, this is better. Right, so what do we have here? This is the schematic for the video. This is the DZ silo, which is FIFO's. This is the DZ itself, the quad serial port. Those are our transmit pins there. Let's get this working. There we go. At will, with trombone, indeed. Let's turn the soldering iron off. We don't need that on at the moment. Right, so what are we looking at? Ben's first thought is that on the, where is it? On the printer port, which is here, the printer port, there is FERENA next to toy clock, yeah. That's the signal, FERENA, which puts it into debug mode. And that's K16. We're on K16. But that doesn't mean that it's actually on this one. Ah, go. Fur enable goes into E2. So Ben's thinking is that this signal is not getting through, which is possible. So we need to look at pins 13 and 7 on E2. Okay, E2 is down here, which is definitely somewhere where we had corrosion that came from that battery connector there. So, yeah, we want to look at 13.7. Check the enable pin, the sysreg enable. So we'll initially look at 13, because we don't need any power on for that one. We'll put our serial port. We don't need any actual serial data or anything for this. We'll just plug that in. And we shall see if we have a connection between pin 13 on this chip and ground. Let's turn that off. So ground is there. This is the chip here. That's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, we do. So that is connecting to ground. So the signal is getting through to there. Now, that's right behind here, isn't it? There we go. Let's go for oscilloscope. On pin 13 we know is good. Its opposite number is pin 7, which should be going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pin 7 should be going high when we turn power on. There are certainly high pulses there. And those high pulses should coincide with pin 1, which is the enable pin. Ooh. Hello. Oh, that's B-dial, isn't it? Enable is never happening. Or not at that moment. Ooh. Is it never looking at it? Let's try pin 19, which is also cisregen. Ooh. Hello. We're not seeing cisregen, as far as I can see. Let's change the oscilloscope to be faster and the trigger to be normal and falling. See if we can capture a pulse, a low going pulse. If I can get it on the pin. There is a pulse there. No, we are seeing some pulses. That is updating. Let's slow it down a little. If I can hold it on the bloody pin. Okay. Why's my trigger right the way over there? Yeah, we're definitely seeing some pulses there, that's definite. So that's coming in okay. What I want, really, is, yeah, I want some of these, don't I? Actually, this might be better with the logic analyzer. But I'll see if I can get the oscilloscope to connect onto these. So we've got pin 7 and pin 1 are our interesting pins. So pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, grip. Okay. And then I want some wires. Come on, untangle. Okay, yellow wire on the yellow clip. Come on. You can get it. You can go on. Go on, you can do it. There we go. Grey wire on the grey clip. Go on you go. Oh, stupid cheap clips. Beans, that's the answer. Beans is often the answer. I think you're in enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, beans is sometimes the cause as well as the answer. Okay, so I want this on trigger, and we'll have this one on interesting signal. Right, so let's move the trigger signal up. We'll turn on the other signal, which is 2 volts. So what I'm looking for here is for the top line to be high. No, the top line to go low and the bottom line to be high when it goes low. Down a bit. Yeah. So when the top high goes low, the bottom line should be high. Let's see what we get. I think the answer to that is yes, it is. So that appears to be working. Hi, Ben. Hi.
Nice.
Well, that's going directly onto B-dial. And we've determined that B-dial's okay. So it must be going into debug mode. And something else is going wrong with it. It's like the baud rate might be screwed up or something. it just suddenly kicked into life. Just rebooted a couple of times and crashed out and restarted. There's definitely something weird with this port. Removes the port, adds a sherry. Fair enough. I'm confused now because that just suddenly kicked into life, kind of. Only after a lot of attempts, and the whole thing rebooted for it to do that because we've got the banner again. You didn't see a thing then, did you? You didn't see any of that, but it suddenly kicked into life after churning out crap there. It kicked into life after a reboot. It was obviously a reboot because it started itself with the banner. Went through its tests. Same results as last time. I believe that means corrupt NVRAM, which is because the battery is not connected. And the NVRAM is corrupt. So I could stick a big capacitor on there to just store a bit of power, but can't be arsed. Right. So what is going on with this port? Because it was obviously attempting to work, failing miserably, and then eventually kicked into life after a reboot or two. Dex Advanced Firmware that has determined that the clowns in the Commons have stuffed the Lords full of their crooked mates again. Yeah, absolutely. So, what do we have? Do we have a clock problem? Another change of background music. Make your minds up. We've got clock DZ comes in. That's the main clock for the whole thing. Main clock for the whole of the serial system.
The industrious ant, Jazz A. Chat fits lively, but a bit too much for a womble. All the improvisation a bit chaotic, if you ask me. I prefer things a bit more predictable.
D's nuts.
like
Yeah,
finding
DZ
out
nuts. It is nuts. But it's RxD3 is the one that we're interested in. Which is transmitting through one channel of the same line driver that all of the channels go out through. And just go straight out to the printer port. It's possible that it's the line driver, but why it would retry a few times or give us corruption and then reboot and suddenly work, I don't know. What triggered that reboot of the whole system? Because that could only be done by the software deciding that something was seriously wrong and restarting, really wrong and restarting, because normally if the software thinks that something's wrong, it'll halt and drop back to the console. But to actually do a whole restart of the whole firmware, it must really think something's bad. Or the reset pin got pulled low for some reason. Let's turn it on again and we'll see what happens. Is it going to just work? Or is it going to give us rubbish? Is it reliably giving us rubbish and then starting? And is it always the same rubbish? If it is repeatedly doing the same thing, that's interesting. Hey Tyler, it's going not too bad. We've had a bit of a breakthrough with it. We can get it working. Kind of, at times. There's something up with this specific serial port, we think. But if we run it not in debug mode, so that the console port is a different serial port, it works. Or at least works more than this. But this just suddenly worked briefly just now. I think it's stuck in a boot loop at the moment in some way. Not a boot loop, a boot loop. No, we're not booping anything here. Because this is giving us the same thing over and over again. It'd be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see if we have serial data, but at a strange baud rate. Snoot boop. You're not having a snoot boop. Let's see if I can get a signal out of here somehow. No, not that one. This one I'd want. And it doesn't reach. It's going to be that end, isn't it? How do I get this in? So if I can jam this down inside here somehow, I might be able to pick up the signal from it. I'm not sure if I'm in the transmit or the receive at the moment. I think I'm in the transmit. Oh, it's working suddenly.
Let's see what's happening.
Right, let's turn that one off, we're not interested in that one. This one here we want to shrink down and slow down. Right, that's ordinary serial data. At that frequency. Let's reboot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's working now. Working every time now. It just wanted me to plug the oscilloscope into there, didn't it? Let's turn the scope on here. We can shrink that down a little bit now. And we shall power cycle it a few times and see if we can get it to not work. Nope, she's bloody well working every time now. Now that we want her to fail, she won't fail. It could be a bad solder joint somewhere. Could be any number of things. Damn it, Zoe, you had one job to fail. You won't fail. Give the board a bit of a flex around a bit, press around on things. Flex it around a bit in the other direction. Nope, she just will not fail now. Damn you, Zoe. What if I take the oscilloscope out? Nope, she just will not fail. Take the oscilloscope out. Nice meal, soft music, absolutely. I'll take the oscilloscope out and show her a good time. You heard yelling but couldn't work out if it's good or bad, or me. I'm getting some extra errors coming up now as well. Sometimes. What's E45 besides a good moisturiser? And D5. They weren't showing up before. One of them might be the NV RAM. Oh, they're not really errors, they're just soft errors. And as though it's not being cooperative because I want her to fail. I want to see what the data coming out of when she fails is. Is it at the wrong frequency? Now we've lost that D error. No, sorry. 70, isn't it? There we go. Not got the hard drive attached at the moment. She won't fail, damn her. Right, what I want is my other SCSI cable, don't I? Which I think is in with my SCSI card, which I think is in the one of these boxes here. Not that box, evidently. So the other box. Looks like it. Right. This is my 50-pin SCSI cable with terminator, which we can plug in straight into the motherboard and into the hard drive. And some power. Right, I'll be back. You won't. may not even boot due to lack of memory. T56 7 and oh no, I can't save this, can I? I need power. I need battery in order to save the SCSI ID of the host. Battery out of the battery holder. Come on, there we go. Plug it in. Right, now I might be able to turn it off, turn it on again. Battery Aziz! These errors seem to be very random. That's saved, that's good. Boot DKA 0 with only a fraction of the memory that I'd normally have. So this is going to be slower than ever. Actually, one of these problems is probably going to be the fact that there is no Ethernet card and it's looking for one, and the Ethernet card is not connected. Okay, where are we? What's the date today? Are we on the 5th? 05 MAR 2026 2044. There's an NI present signal, fair enough. So it knows there is no Ethernet. Must be a HPE server with how it's slow it's booting, yeah. The cards who say me present. Checking sea of sensors. No, just very slowly loading VMS into a very small amount of memory using a slow processor. Yeah, HP would still be on the UEFI. can turn this scope off now that we're not watching the transmit pin. Ofcom in there. No, not Ofcom, Opcom. So it was normally after this that it would just wig out. Cheeseburgers times 2, chips and beans. Oh, nom nom nom, yum yum. My kind of dinner. I think we're all jealous, industrious. You've already eaten, so no. So have I, but I'm still jealous. And I can always eat more. That's how I've ended up the size I am. This version is too early to include CIA. Yeah, only 5.5. Probably got NSA in there somewhere though. Two Aldi sub pizzas, popcorn chicken and spiral cut potatoes. Whoa. I'm jealous of you now. Hard drive light is still flickering occasionally. It's doing something. NSA is the audit server and CIA is the intrusion detection. Fair enough. Is there going to be FBI in there as well? You might have nipped to Aldi earlier, possibly. Vague possibility you might have done. You're already considering pizza now. Not helping, yeah. Not helping. Go on, have pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. You don't think you've ever seen FBA flash past? Well, I'd hope not. They like to keep themselves covered up most of the time, don't they? Mulder or Scully? Well, they're my two sun systems are Mulder and Scully. So we've got FBI there at least. Come on, are you going to do something interesting? Other than just sit there flashing at me. They don't flash past me, no, they NVR past me. NVRAM past me. Little's Aberdeen Angus jobbers. Oh, they're nice, they are. They're good burgers. Aberdeen Angus jobbers is a cow pat, yeah. Well, it is Aldi, so yeah. A slice of paprika, dusted cheddar, and a dollop of smoky bacon ketchup. In brioche buns. Yeah, those Aberdeen Angus ones are bloody good. For cheap burgers, they are really good. I haven't had them for ages. Need to get some. Hard drive's still flickering away, so it is still doing something. It hasn't crashed out yet like it used to. But it's still not giving us what we'd normally get coming up by now. But it's only got a fraction of the RAM, so yeah. It's a third of the RAM it would normally have. did you get some too? Oh, burgers. Oh, yes, the burgers too. Yes, that's what you need. It's still doing things. Don't know if it's doing the right things because it's not telling me anything. Oh, I love brioche buns. Warburton's do a really, really nice gluten-free brioche bun. Not the right things, mostly the reading things, yeah. Well, I like that contrast of sweet and savoury that you get with brioche. Something savoury in a sweet roll it's nice. It keeps your taste buds interested. Can't stand sweetbreads. Well, that's a completely different thing, is sweetbreads. And yeah, I hate pineapple. No, yeah, it's not the sweetness of pineapple that I don't like, it's the flavour of pineapple that I hate. It's just a horrible, horrible flavour to me. So's grapefruit. I just can't stand the flavour of it. I also find the texture of grapefruit to be unpleasant. It's just generally a very unpleasant experience to me, grapefruit and pineapple. Time and a place of brioche buns. Usually go for the normal seeded ones. I had a voucher for a free packet of these, so I'm not going to turn that down. Fair enough. Still flickering at me. Normally boots up a bit quicker than this, but that's normally with 6 meg of RAM, not 2. Yeah, those tend to be sweetened and other spices and things added to disguise the tomato flavour, MJ. So pure tomato can be, yeah, it's not always the same sort of flavour that you'd expect tomato to be. Especially if they're not quite ripe, or they've been picked underripe and forced to go ripe off the vine, things like that. And they can be quite bitter sometimes, so. Oh, we have progressed. Tomato thing you buy in tins to cook with is fine, yeah. Well, I suppose if you've got a tomato in your hand, Ben, you can't easily tell just by looking at it whether it's ripe or not, can you? If you can't really tell the difference between a green and a red tomato, your brain is saying, don't eat it, it might not be ripe. TP server process waiting. What for? The flush? Too late. Too late. Can you throw the tomato at someone? Oh, but that's only whether it's either unripe or ripe or overripe. Because even a ripe one will bounce off someone, but an overripe one, that's what you want to throw at people. Tomato, 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 no, no, tomato, rebel. Tomato, reverse, reverse. This is the furthest we've got for a long time. You need to drive to Brum. Not until after you've been up into the sunroom and brought down toys for me. Couldn't stand tomatoes and mushrooms when you were younger, but then you became a student at uni, dorms, and yes, food was enough to be eating said food. Plus your tastes do change. When you're a child, you do have generally have a sweeter tooth than when you're an adult. And you just want sweet things all the time and not savoury. Which is why kids don't want to eat their vegetables. But then as you get older, your taste changes and you don't want as much sweet stuff and you prefer savoury stuff. A 2-foot-long sausage Ben's after us. Hey. Christmas market, yeah. Wrong time of year, Ben. You only get a 2-foot sausage at Christmas. No, that's the opposite, Ben. That's what you have after the 2-foot sausage. Still thinking. I'm seeing the odd flash occasionally. Two-foot sausage, your ears are burning. Pool expansion failure. Yeah, I've been getting that. I don't know what that means. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I was having a problem with this hard drive. So I've got the blue SCSI here that I might try. If I can find my card adapter. But I want to refresh the images on this card because I don't think they're happy with all the abuse that it's been having in the sounds more memory size related. Well, I was getting it even with all the memory in. The abuse that this card has been having in the RTM-FM, I want to clean it off and start afresh with it. is this card adapter maybe not working? Quite possibly. Let's get another card adapter. We don't really know quite what has happened, MJ. It's the E2 chip is fine. It's just it appears this Transcend SD card adapter is not working, so I'm going to rip it up and throw it away. That might be why it wasn't working the Blue Scuzzy earlier. Okay, I should want to move that into there as well. Actually, let's go. Mount -O sync SDI1 MNT. Mount it synchronous. And copy this lot across. That is slow. This is supposed to be USB 3, that is slow. Well, that chip seems to be attached onto an enable signal which is, by its name, I would say, is used for a lot of things. Or for at least 4 things, possibly. All going out onto the bus at once. The system registers. Yeah. So that'll be more than just that chip. So that chip is being enabled repeatedly, even when it's not being used, not looking at it. So yeah, it's impossible to know quite when it's interested in that signal, because that chip's being enabled all sorts of times when it's not interested in that signal. So, but it appears to be perfectly fine. Right, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to get the memory, and we're going to add the memory to it. Well, Ben, you know what you need to do, don't you? Fire up KiCad. Recreate the schematics. There's a Friday evening job for you. Okay. Munch your man parts. No, thank you. I'd rather not. This is too slow. This is not right. Let's move it from here, where I think it's contending with other things, and plug it in here, where it will probably still be contending with things. Nope, still slow. Calm down, G-Pin, calm down. Well, I'll just leave that running. Well, a sync mount will have copied all the data onto the card when it finishes the copying. An async mount won't, it'll all be in the buffer. It'll appear faster, but then you've got an indeterminate amount of time afterwards where it's still writing to the card. At least this way you know when it is. Async does a lot of caching, yeah. Cache the entire contents of the card. Part of my problem is that a lot of my USB bandwidth is being used by capture devices which aren't actually being used at the moment because I'm not capturing. So I don't know. Maybe instead I shall go copy that to qtpi.fast. And that's more like the kind of speed that I would want. Then I'm going to move this. Oops, did I just unplug that without dismounting it? Quite possibly. And plug it into a completely different computer. Yeah, I don't get that luxury, Swarm. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 capture devices all showing different ports and things, so yeah. It's not exactly easy for when you've got multiple cameras all over the place showing different things. I mounted that async, didn't I? This is why I like to mount sync, because now if I try and unmount it, I've got to wait for it to do the writing of the data. And I don't know how long it's going to take. Well, that's why I've specifically added extra USB ports on PCIe cards, so I have extra dedicated root ports. I've even got a hub plugged into the USB port on my graphics card to be able to use that as a separate USB port, so that trying to have it so that every camera has its own dedicated port. So yeah. Is this going to be any faster? Not really. 2 meg, 2.2, 2.4. Dedicated root beer ports. think whatever I'm doing here, it's going to take a while to copy. Okay, we'll go back to here. I'll boot this up with the memory attached. It should take longer to do its self-test, which it's never going to not do now, isn't it? We've got our 6 meg of RAM in there now. CB5, that's the normal 3 errors that we get there, or 3 information. I'd love to know what that error is, that system error. System error 2. Something is wrong with the motherboard. Something is wrong, but it won't tell me what. It's just, there's something wrong. I wish I knew what it was. System error 2 this time, it's personal. There's some chip on here is not behaving how it should. And I don't know which chip it is, or even where to begin looking for it. Because all the manual says if it's 1, it's okay. If it's a 4, it's an EEPROM or PROM error on the Ethernet. Any other number, replace the system board. So, yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. Something somewhere is not happy. System error 3 errors in space. Now, Ben, is there a way that I can boot up to a login prompt without running any of the startup stuff? Disable all of the auto starting stuff. There isn't there? In let's just do T51 DKA0 T52. I'll set that to 1. There's something I can set in the sysgen thing, isn't there? I have done it before, but I can't remember what it was. Set sysstart equals OPA 0. No. Set slash startup equals OPA 0. So that. It liked it with an equals. shall indeed, Ben. See what happens. And make sure to run spawn as the very first thing you do. First thing anyone should do is spawn. Otherwise the first arrow will kill the system. Okay.
MP 60,893 says push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. The motto in room 454.
Right, well that has booted up to a prompt. I've spawned. Right. No, I can't do it without mounting it foreign, can I? Which means I'd have to boot off something else, like the network, and I'm not set up here for that. Need a dead body, take a dead body, yeah. Oh, I don't want to know about your room 454 motto, G-Pin. But once I've got the Blue Scuzzy up and running, I can boot off that and test the hard drive. We haven't even got that, have we? Caprice sperma. No, thank you. I'm not going to read that. Where is... There's this up in here, isn't there? Right, that's where it is. Right, there it is. Found it. Do an auto gen if we can. Nope. Not gather, is it? Get data. Not gather, get data. There we go. Idiocracy indeed, yes. I'm perfectly hydrated. I've almost finished a whole pint of water this evening. I've finished a whole pint of water this evening. None of you have noticed my new redeem though, have you? I added a redeem. It should be there. I hope it's there. Did I add it wrong? I must have added it wrong. Did I not? Hang on. There it is, yes. A bit of Riker on the trombone. Nightbird! Nightbird! It's not happy with all that because it's not booted properly, isn't it? Yeah. It's not happy with that boot, that environment. There's an alternate boot, Ben, in the same kind of vein. Not one that just drops you straight to a prompt, but one that does a full boot up but skips all the startup files. Like a minimal boot up. What's that one? You do it again in the sysboot thing. No, there is a. I'm sure there is another one that's not a. Oh wait, let's have a look. Set startup P1 min, that's the one. Definitely I know something that Ben didn't. BKA0:/R51. Actually, I didn't do a use default, which might be needed. Because I want to do the boot up, but without all the extra stuff. Use default around here calls G-pin, yeah. Mount calls G-pin. So does 2 foot long sausage. That's an instant wake up call for G-pin. Told you. That's mustard. G-pin's 2 foot long sausage. Go on. Kinky. Some diced onion. How about a ghost pepper? Draw the line at pickle. Don't want to pickle his sausage. Mayo, please tell me there's mayo. You've got to provide the mayo yourself, G-pin. Minimum system startup requested. Security auditing disabled. Well, I have no idea why this just suddenly started behaving itself. Or partially behaving itself anyway. Still struggling to boot, but... Right, we're logging in now. Ghosts, indeed. Now we should be able to do an auto-gen. Just wondering if the if its configuration and things have got corrupted somehow with all the shenanigans that have been going on. Do an auto-gen to rebuild the configuration. It's got about, no, it's got the full 6 meg. I've added the memory card back to it. I think you were doing something with burgers at the time. I haven't done a full boot since adding the card though. The incredibly slow boot was without the extra memory card. Can't interrupt Ben when he's got meat in his mouth, absolutely not. That could be fatal. It always takes forever, this auto-gen thing. Shouldn't have had those onions, should you, Ben? Exactly.
I do apologise, I'm an idiot.
You didn't follow through, did you, Ben? Smells like mayo. Oh, of course you had the beans, didn't you? You had the beans with your burger. Quite to use some bowel control. Why did your mum call you Skid Mark? Because he drives a BMW, that's why. Sideways is best ways. Sideways is still making progress, yes. Fluorescent green, Swarm. That's the answer. Your car is fluorescent green. Found a good word for unstealth at the top of your head. The opposite of stealthy, garish, obvious, loud, in your face, blatant, yeah. Acid green was indeed a conscious choice. Easy to identify in the car park, even when under 3 foot of snow. Daft Punkle, hello.
Daft Punkle starts in binary bling. capacitors doing jazz hands.
One with all the hamsters inside partying.
CRT screen start to giggle. Keyboard keys do a little bit.
ML350p Gen 8 you were just toying with is definitely the opposite of stealth. Bit loud, is it? The kind of server you need to have ear defenders on when you're near it. Gen Files phase is beginning. Just like to rev those fans. You lucked out at the e-waste facility yesterday though. No charge to dump the faulty Dell T430. Fantastic. They go, oh, not another Dell. Stick it over there with all the others. Put it in the Dell room. Or Dell bin. Mountain of Dells! And as if by magic, Caritas appeared. No, the aforementioned takes several minutes to post because it's a HP. Whatever you put in, it takes hours to post. It's a HP. We were talking about that earlier, how slow HPs are to do their posts. Some of the great little machines, others shit their pants at the slightest suggestion of having to do some work. Right, let's do a clean boot then. Actually, I could do T52. Don't I put that back to 0. Otherwise, it's going to go into sysboot every time. Let's see if we can get a full boot up this time. See what happens. Now we've done an auto gen. Recreate all its config files. Maybe needs shipping to me on the sly. No, I don't do PCs these days. Even big hefty ones. Yeah, if it's got a HPIB port, it increases the chance of it not being utter shite. Quite, yes. Yeah, that's really intelligent design, isn't it, Chloe? Escape to get in, escape to get out. But you never know quite when, so you mash it and go in and straight out again, yes. I've had similar systems, but they at least give you a confirmation before exiting. So you're mashing the escape key and you end up in the BIOS, but with a window popped up saying, do you want to exit? So it just catches you in time, but no, HP don't bother with that. Okay, we've got to the audit server part. We're auditing, are we? Well, we seem to be. I audited chat. You failed. You failed your audit. Yeah. The hard drive seems to be doing an awful lot more this time than last time anyway. It's clattering away, whereas before it would just flash occasionally. Audit is being served. Mr. Arm, are you free? I'm free. It is a classic. Haven't seen it for years. TP server process is waiting. Yay. Jeepin wants Mrs. Slocum's pussy. No. I doubt it. Starting DeckNet. This is going a lot better now. I have no idea why it suddenly started working. And the TP server process is waiting for a suitable bunghole. The butthead service, yeah. Waiting for a suitable bunghole to be used with. Yes, I know, you don't have the network card connected at the moment, so line doesn't exist. But this is going so much better suddenly. Just to annoy me, yeah. I just don't understand why what was wrong with it. It just... As soon as I went to go and try and look at what was wrong with it, it just said, no, nothing wrong, we're all fine. Nothing to see here. Move along, please. Yes, we have replaced one chip, but that had no effect at all on the system. No PCB available, that's because it's not there. It's not plugged in. It's in the chassis, which is behind me. Maybe the heat got to Zoe. Well, it took a while, and then just suddenly it decided to start working, so I do not know. But that has just done a full boot up, which is the first time since I brought her in from the cold. So I don't know what to do with her. I put her back together again. Testing out the MFM again on the next stream. Loathed to. Risky. I want to do some more probing of it first, I think. Make sure things are the right way round. But I can't see how I can have taken that chip out. It's bizarre. Because it's all open drain stuff, so... The facts that came in from the cold, yes. Is there anything else with an MFM controller that I don't give a crap about? No. There is this. There is a PDP-11. That is all I have that has MFM. Something that doesn't take 20 minutes to boot. Well, it's only really the ROM monitor thing that we need to get into for testing it. Only 20 minutes, HP says those are amateur numbers. Indeed. I've got the computer, I just don't have the MFM controller for it. I've got the 5150, but I really wanted the 5160. Right. I would still love to know what this error is, though. Because there is definitely something wrong with the motherboard, but I don't know what. So that, I think, is an error for another day. That I would like to sort it out, but there is a chance that that might be related to the patched SCSI ROMs, possibly. So swapping out the ROMs for the original ROMs might get rid of that error. I don't know. Well, it's a possibility. There's an 8-bit one there. 2 8-bit ones. 3 8-bit ones. But not that, obviously, because it's Canada. You'd have to buy that one for me and ship it, because they may not ship to me. So, Pretty interesting to have a bunch of cards like that though, but as I say, may not ship to the UK. So somebody local would have to accept them on my behalf. I'd have to speak to it with an accent. I am sure I can do that for you. I would also have to keep shrugging my shoulders as well, I suppose, yes? Right, well, I think I've done all I can for today, and I have no idea what it is that I have done. All I know is that all of a sudden she started working. However, I'm not going to put her back together again yet. We'll save that for tomorrow, because I want to let her cool down again. Cool right down. And then tomorrow we'll try her cold and see what she thinks. See whether she works when cold, because she might just be warmed up enough now to start working. And it may be a temperature thing. We shall see. Yeah, 30 quid is the going rate in the UK for a single MFM card. Well, if somebody in Canada wants to buy them and send them over. 30 Canadian dollars is about 15 quid, isn't it? That's nothing for 6 of them. Untested. It was a successful stream, yes, but somebody perhaps with a mooing fixation? Almost finished copying these drive images across now as well. So I'll leave those running. But it's about time for me to finish off my stream. Now watch it just be that it's my adapter is the whole problem, and the fact that I opened it up cured the problem. That would be just my luck, wouldn't it? No, I think that chip was actually probably fine. There was nothing wrong with it, and we didn't cause any problems. There's just a problem that happened to show its face at the same time, and I think that chip was actually probably fine, and the RTMFM didn't do any damage. But I do still want to just check it out, just in case. Make sure that all the signals are completely correct. They should be. I just want to make sure. But for now, let's put her to bed. Did someone say bed? Yeah, absolutely. I could do with an early night tonight. I was up early this morning. I was up dawn's crack this morning. So yeah, I shall leave her to cool down overnight. Tomorrow evening, after Ben's and Shelby's streams, we shall power up her again and see if she powers up or not. Because chances are it's going to be a heat thing. And it's definitely something related to this cereal corner here. You woke at 6:25 due to needing a piss. Fair enough. So once it's all cooled down, it may just stop working again. At which point, I might get the hot air blower out and warm up parts of it and see if that has any effect. A Muller cereal corner indeed, yes. See if manually heating an area makes it suddenly start working. Because it could be that there is a chip or something that is not happy until it's warmed up. So, anyway, that's for tomorrow. Your plans for tomorrow, Ben? Are you power supplying or taping? You don't know. I'm not surprised. You'll see. A surprise stream from Ben tomorrow. 6 PM GMT. Be there or be a shape with 4 90-degree corners and equal sides. Meant to bring a HB home from the office but didn't. Oops. Oh well. Maybe tomorrow. Are you going to the office tomorrow? Who knows? Anyway. Right. Where's my outro? Outro time. Thank you for joining me this evening. We've kind of had success. She's working. But we really don't know why. So, yeah. Tomorrow we'll find out whether she's still working after she's cooled down. And if she's not, we'll try and work out which bit needs to get hot for her to kick into life. So I'm as puzzled as you are. And Cole shall be fed up and CBA again. Yep, absolutely. Strange quantum success. We have it, but it's impossible to know why. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, we'll find out tomorrow whether she will or not. If she does, then maybe there is just a cracked solder joint or a slightly cracked trace or something, and flexing her has fixed it again. That kind of fault can be almost impossible to find. So who knows?
Right then, time to wrap things up.
A massive thank you to everyone who joined the stream today. It was a lovely time. Huge thanks to MJ, Ergo Gadget 360, Lewisoft 10, Quai 99, Per Incest Fuzzy, but Majenko Tech, Jeepin 24/7, Daft Punk P1 and GB4CK, Dopaz, Sleepy Developer Tyler Hoot, Chloe Raccoon, The Industrious and Sir Stews a Lot, SVK 28, Swarm of Deacon Sex, Hot Rocks Girl, and Stream Elements for being here. Special shout out to any new subscribers, raiders, and followers. Welcome to the common. And a little something for Chloe Raccoon, who, let's be honest, really put the into today's stream with those 2 farts. Thanks again, everyone.
You broke your name again, Swarm. I'd love to know why. Deek insects. I've no idea. I really don't know. It's the second time he's done that to you. He was doing it to Cobb for a while. Who knows what goes to that strange bot's brain. Anyway, I say I'll be back tomorrow about 9 o'clock-ish after Shelby. Be sure to join me to find out whether Zoe still works. Until then, have a good Friday. Not an Easter Monday, a good Friday. And I'll see you later.
Get off my bridge!